Guess what? We spent the weekend in the Netherlands, Amsterdam to be specific. It was actually a very cool airport, and I thought we were going to actually take the subway to our hotel, but it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be. We ended up walking quite a distance, and then finally ended up taking an Uber. But right away, I was just awestruck with the architecture. You all know I love different looking buildings, and Amsterdam did not disappoint. It's also quite a biking city, which I find very, very cool. I would love to just not have a car and bike everywhere. The canals were also awesome. There's a lot to do in Amsterdam, and I have to admit, one weekend in the city is definitely not enough. We will definitely be coming back to explore more of Amsterdam. But just off our first impression, we really, really loved the food. We enjoyed a couple of native dishes from Holland. And we also found Italian food, of course, which we can't get enough of. The hotels in the city of Amsterdam are quite small, and none of them that we found had elevators. So we're trying a traditional Dutch dish called beef bitterballen or beef bitterhal. I'm not sure which. This is what it looks like inside. What is it? Cheese? Cheese and beef? And they dip it with mustard. One of the really cool things we learned about the canals is they are built in a circle around the city, and each canal, gets a little bigger than the previous one. And each of the rings are actually like their own neighborhoods, so each of the canals have like a really different vibe. So we did enjoy just kind of checking that out. And I have mentioned before that we really loved the food in Amsterdam. Here's a little peek at a French restaurant that we just happened to walk into. Everyone was so friendly. Food was super delicious. The kitchens were so clean. It was just really fun to check out all the different restaurants around town as well. And it looks empty on the inside because they actually move all the chairs outside, and it's bustling outside. I have to admit, the buffalo mozzarella in Amsterdam is the second best next to Naples, Italy that I've ever tried. So please have some of that if you're in Amsterdam. Here's a glimpse of the view from our hotel, and you'll notice people don't really close their blinds here. It's a tradition where they're telling their neighbors that they don't have anything to hide, which I thought was kind of cute. Here's a look at something I've never seen before. This is how you park your car in a garage in Amsterdam. You put it on a platform, it takes it down to the basement garage, and your car goes inside a cage. There are more tiny cars in Amsterdam than I've ever seen before. Now I'm going to show you what it's like to take the subway in Amsterdam. It's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I'm on the way to Edam Lookout, I think is how you say it, short for Amsterdam Lookout. So I decided to take the subway there, and there was a lot of shopping and food, like fast food places in their subway, so that was kind of cool. It's pretty busy, but nothing too crazy. And where we lost our way when trying to take the subway to our hotel was we didn't know we had to get on the ferry. Anyway, I figured that out on this trip. The ferry was really cool, quick, short ride, and it's free, so that was also very cool. So as you can see, this part of town is very different from where we were staying in the more central downtown area. It's a lot more modern here, and there's a look at a dam rooftop, which we are heading up to shortly. It was pretty touristy, but I have to admit it was a lot of fun. Going up to the top of the building and just seeing all of Amsterdam from that view was really cool. And there was plenty to do. They had a restaurant. They had like a virtual reality ride, which I did, and then the swing, which was also kind of fun. I mentioned that one weekend was not enough, so a few of the things that I'd love to go back and do next time would be to see the old-fashioned giant windmills and check out the tulip farms. There's also several museums that are worth checking out. I really regret not making time to at least walk through the Rijksmuseum, I think is how you say it. And now time to head back to the hotel and look for some dinner with PC. As I mentioned before, we really did love the canals. We spent a lot of time on the canals, so we decided to rent our own boat, which was a very fun experience. I do recommend it if you know how to drive a boat, or you can also rent a boat with a driver, but we wanted to spend as much time as we could on the water, so we rented the boat. And
la 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 la.
like it when Not sure if you can see on those two flags, there were backpacks hanging from them, which is another tradition in the Netherlands. When somebody graduates, they hang their backpacks on the flag so that everyone knows they had a graduate that year.
I'll let you decide what Prius.
Here's a peek of the red light district. It was basically a lot of restaurants and bars. It was cool. And we learned that coffee shops do not sell coffee in Amsterdam. So that was our quick weekend in Amsterdam. I can't wait to go back, and I hope you all will make a trip there too. Bye everyone.